Welcome to the session, two-part session on hips and hamstrings, lumbar spine. So main focus around lower back pain and how to relieve it. So we're going to start with child's pose. So knees nice and wide, hands in front. And just lowering our chest down between our thighs. And you just slow your breath down. For now, let's keep the arms from the floor, keep them straight, and see if you get this chest as deep down between those thighs as you can. We're going to try and get to a point where our forehead rests on the mat without bending our elbows. If you can't get down there, that's okay. I just want you to use that exhale to soften through your shoulders and relax through your neck and your spine. Should be a slight tightness through the waistline, sort of looking after your back, so drawing your tummy in, just a touch. Now bend your elbows, lay your forearms down, and feel it release through your shoulders. Relax your hands. It's also a good time to check in on how your back feels. When we check in, we want to notice. We're not going to judge or justify why it feels the way it does. Right, coming up into a box position, so hands directly on shoulders and knees under hips. Gonna work through what I call up cat and down cat, but we're gonna use a full inhale and exhale to move through the poses. So come with me to begin with. Gonna inhale my breath, lift up through my back. Gonna exhale, widen my shoulders, head comes down and pelvis comes forward. And then we go the other way, inhale breath, belly comes down. Exhale, squeeze those shoulders together, tilt the pelvis down and looking out towards your horizon. So when you're lifting through your back, you're widening through your shoulders, just with the inhale and exhale to move through that part of the pose. As your belly comes down again, squeezing your shoulder blades together and looking out to the front. So when we're going through some of these poses, it's good to notice how things are. Notice where you feel tightness. So it's easy to feel the muscles of the back. Feel your rib cage pressing against them, your shoulders, your pelvis. Whereas it's difficult to notice your spine. Unless your spine is injured or inflamed, you'll definitely notice it. So when I think of the spine, I really think of my neck, because I can feel that more than anything else. I don't carry any injuries in my spine, thankfully. But I do want you to notice the muscles of the back, both in up cat and down cat. When we notice, we're simply noticing any places of tightness and discomfort. We're not going to think about them in a way of trying to say to ourselves, they're sore because of this, or I'm a man so it hurts, or I'm a woman and that's why I've got more pain here. So it's important not to try and justify it, but really about becoming aware, real awareness of your body without justification. This is a really good pose to do at the start of the day and the end of the day. Up cat, down cat. It's very gentle for your back. It really helps to warm it up. It helps you check on in safely on how you're recovering from any back injury. You're going to come to what we call side kick this time. So if you imagine you have a pole on either side of a rib cage, you're going to wrap ourselves around that pole. So I'm going to move towards you to begin with. So I'm going to bring my left shoulder to my left hip. So take an inhale, my breath here. Exhale, I'm going to look over the left shoulder, bring my left hip around, use all my air to get there, so squeeze it through one side while lengthening through the other. Inhale, come back to the front. Exhale, other side. We're trying to use all the air to get through the maximum part of the pose, not twisting in and still exhaling and not going anywhere. So use the movement slowly as you slowly exhale. So you squeeze through one side and you lengthen through the other. And important not to drop to the side when you're doing this. So you're evenly placed, hips are facing forward, and you just that squeeze through one side, over that shoulder. The imagery is we're trying to layer the bottom rib on top of the hip. And sometimes you can feel that a little bit of squeeze in there. So really good for strengthening up your obliques and the rotational muscles of your body. It's also another good way to just check on our spine and our rib cage. Let's come back right around to me. Let's come into a kneeling position. And this is a modified mermaid position. We'll do it from kneeling versus rest the side. So I'm going to bring my left hand down. My right arm's going to be straight to begin with. I'm going to then bend at the elbow and bring it over to the side. Now I press into this hand. I press my hips the opposite way. They get a bit more of a length through the side. So places you're going to feel this. Down your forearm, down your tricep, down the lat side of your body, right down to your hip. There's no advantage of having a straight arm or a bent arm. We do want to get as much length and over here. So think of armpit lifting up, yet shoulder is in socket, and we're leaning to the side as much as we can. You can press the side, get more of the hips to come over if you can. And if you want to take this a little bit further, watch my shoulder. I'm going to bring it down into the socket of the shoulder and take my eye gaze up to my elbow for a little bit of stretch for my neck. What tends to happen when people reach over top, they bring their armpit right up and puts a lot of tension on their neck. So we want to keep that arm in the socket of the shoulder and then look up to the elbow. Lovely stretch. We'll come to the other side. So the hand comes down, other arm comes over, straight to begin with. We're going to bend at the elbow and bring it overhead. Again, I'm going to press a bit of weight to this hand and press my hips the opposite way. With my arm up, watch my arm. It's going to come down into the socket of the shoulder, and I'll take my eye gaze to my elbow. Feel that light stretch in the neck. The whole time, a slight tightness through the waistline, looking out for our back and really turning our core on. It's a very good habit to get into. Strong on that shoulder. Alright, I'm going to move into our hamstrings. So see the hamstring stretch. So do one leg closest. I should do one leg out in front, one leg tucked in. Once you relax your foot, so just bring it back so you can see. I'm not going to bring my toes back, just relax my foot. I'm going to gently come down. I'm going to lead with my sternum and not with my head. I'm going to lead with my head. Watch my back, see how rounded it is. It needs to be as flat as you can make it. So lead with your sternum, coming on down, just to about a level 3. So if you imagine a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being asleep, and 10 being excruciating pain, a 3 is where we want to be. So we simply check in on the length of the hamstring in this position at level 3. And when you're in level 3, quite relaxed. There's a bit of a stretch going on. Try to be as diligent as I can to be flat through that back, really key. And take your eye gaze to your ankle. The moment you look to your knee, you arch your back and your shoulders. So we want to keep those shoulders back, looking down to your ankle, relaxing your foot for now. So we're going to revisit this stretch. Here it is here. We will go to a maximum level as high as you can go without hurting yourself. So 8 or 9 we'll get eventually. For now, we're checking at level 3. We notice it. Right, next step. I'm going to press that foot further out. This knee I'm going to bring back behind me. So I'm going to slide it back as far back behind me as I can to the side. So if I'm showing from this side, we were here before, and now we're going to pull this knee right back and press that foot further forward. So it feels quite different. So the knee's back. Now, it's very difficult to bring ourselves square and come down. So I don't want you to do that. Anchor, still slide down. We want to bring ourselves to the side, 45-degree angle, and bring yourself down. And feel that outer part of the hamstring, more so towards the butt cheek on this side versus under the knee where we were before. So feeling that length slightly different. Grab where you can. Let's go from a level 3 to level 4, and you'll feel that, yeah? Especially you're going to feel it in the back part of the hip on this bent side. You're going to feel a little bit in the lumbar here. You're going to feel on the outside of this limb. If you're really struggling with this, with a hamstring stretch, relax the foot further forward, let the toes come forward, and that'll help relax the limb. If you're enjoying it too much, can't have that, bring those toes back, turn that thigh on, turn that hamstring on. Alright, it's coming up. Let's square ourselves up again. So I'm going to bring this knee forward and slide this foot back. Take this arm behind me, top of the hand on the floor to help bring my shoulder down. Yep. Other hand's going to reach around and grab the outside of this limb. So grab what you can. Outer shin, outer ankle, or outer foot. Try and bring this opposite ear down towards your knee. So take your eye gaze down your thigh. Yep. If we put a hand in here, we put pressure on the shoulder. So we want to try and be diligent. Back of the hand on the floor, allow that arm to slide down or help bring the shoulder down, which is really key, and then bring yourself down and around. So it feels like you're twisting around your rotational muscles of your abdominals. See where you can go. So maybe around a level 4 or 5. That's what we're looking for. Notice we're starting to get our chest and our head further down towards the knee, which is great. I'm going to keep that shortly and go right up to level 9, or as close to level 10 as you can. Now most stretches or most poses you need to hold for about 20 seconds for them to have any benefit to it at all. 30 would be better. If you're unsure of how long 30 seconds is, still slow breathing, count 30 breaths, which will be more than 30 seconds, probably 60 seconds, but that's good too. Okay, so keeping the upper body down, I'm bringing this arm behind me forward, other hand's already there. I'll take my eye gaze to my ankle, I'll relax my foot, it's quite difficult to do that otherwise, and then I'll bring myself down, trying to get my level right up there. So from 5, I'm going up to 6, 7, eye gaze to ankle. Chest comes forward. Try and lay that chest on that thigh. Keep breathing. 8. Now, remember, when we first did this stretch, we were at level 3. Try and think of the same feelings you had and what you did to stay at level 3 other than pulling yourself down. So for me, I need to simply slow my breath down, relax my thigh, because it's the hamstring I'm stretching. So if you bring your kneecap up in your thigh and then release it, it'll help relax the thigh. It's all about that hamstring from your seat bone to behind your knee. If you want to bring your toes back further, you'll start tuning on your calf muscle and your Achilles, and maybe more of the hamstring around the knee. You feel that behind the knee start to tighten up. The theory is you stay here long enough, your level 8 or level 9 starts to go backwards to level 6 and level 5. So the theory would be you could then go hard again and go for another 8 at level 8 again. Today, that's enough for us. So we're going to change sides now. So do it all on the other side. So other leg out in front, other leg tucked in. Relax your foot. Come down square to level 3. So eye gaze to ankle, leg into the sternum. So press that chest forward, try and flatten that back. Eye gaze in. Just grab what you can. Doesn't matter whether you can grab your foot or not. It's irrelevant. As long as you're getting a stretch. That's all that matters. Up. Just press that foot out, bring that knee back as far as you can. Grab what you can here and bring yourself forward on a 45-degree angle. So not trying to square yourself up and put all that pressure on the lumbar spine. Bring yourself 45 degrees and feel that outside of the hamstring here. So outside the hamstring could also be IT band of the limbs, the outer part of the limb. Stretching through your IT band. Gently up. I'm going to square that hip up now, so I'm going to bring that limb forward, bring this one back, taking the opposite hand behind you, top the hand on the floor, eye gaze, looking down your thigh, reach around, grab what you can, outer shin, outer ankle or outer foot, try and bring your opposite ear down towards your knee. Try and relax your thigh, so bring your kneecap into your thigh and then let it go. It should help relax that thigh. You start to notice how much more the chest and the head you start to bring down towards your knee. Stay down with the chest, your eye gaze to your ankle, bring the hand behind you forward, bring your toes back if you can, and now really try to bring yourself down. So level 4, level 5, let's go level 8 if you can. So for me to get level 8, I'm going to bring my chest further forward, I'm going to bring my toes back, I'm going to bring my body down towards the shin. Your eye gaze towards that ankle as best I can. The moment I look at my knee, I'll arch my back, so I'm going to really bring myself forward towards my ankle. I'm at level 7 at the moment. Bring my toes back, make level 8. And remember the first level we started level 3 in this position. we want to bring ourselves back close to there. So relax your breathing. See if you can relax the front part of your limb, shin, kneecap, thigh. I'll immediately slip down to level 6. Yet I'm still in the strong position I was before with my body down. Right, I'm going to finish off on hamstrings before we go into session 2. The leg that's bent, take that same hand back behind you. You're going to reach out with this other hand, same long limb, lift up and pivot, turn into a kneeling spiral position. So reaching out with your fingertips, pushing your pelvis up towards the ceiling, take your eye gaze down towards your hand on the floor, and really find that length from your pinky to your armpit, to your hip, to your big toe. Press your pelvis towards me. So spiral pose a really kneeling spiral, nice to open out through abdominals and lengthen long through our limbs. Alright, coming down, we'll change sides. So other leg out in front, other leg tucked in. The limb that's tapped in, that same hand comes back behind us. We're going to reach out, lift up, and pivot turn. Gently down. So that's the first part of a 2-part series for our lumbar spine. Come and join me in second series.